I'm John Davis, and this is MotorWeek. Climb aboard as we test a car pivotal to Ford's success, the Euro-bred Focus Compact. Pat Goss has dollar and cents advice on flushing your transmission. Brian Robinson goes two-wheeling on BMW's six-cylinder K1600. And we connect with a sport luxury hybrid, the Lexus CT200H. So come drive with us next.
MotorWeek, television's original automotive magazine. Brought to you by
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers. No matter what customers drive, they can purchase online from a comprehensive selection of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
The 2012 Ford Focus is not just another compact car. Designed in Germany and assembled in Michigan, the all-new Focus is the cornerstone of Ford's long-term strategy of providing a truly global product line. Focus is also the basis for a wide variety of other so-called C-Class vehicles to come, including a performance model, small vans, plug-in hybrids, and even pure electrics. So the Focus better be sharp. A sharper 2012 Focus is critical to Ford's long-range plans as they aim to please just about everyone with some version of this chassis. And as fuel prices continue to gyrate, bringing 40 miles per gallon with an automatic to the compact car class is a good place to start. Indeed, a Focus SE sedan with the optional 6-speed power shift twin-clutch automatic has government fuel economy ratings of 28 city, 40 highway. However, getting those numbers also requires adding the $495 super fuel economy package. SFE is not offered on the hatchback, so our top drawer titanium test car with the automatic still drew fine ratings of 27 city and 37 highway on regular. We managed 31 miles per gallon in routine driving. We should note that the new Hyundai Elantra sedan meets the 40 mpg benchmark without a special package. Between the two body styles, we much prefer the Euro look of the 5-door and the additional room it provides. Our red candy metallic hatchback really shows the aggressive new styling of Focus, much better than the somewhat blander 4-door. Though styling is similar to the subcompact Fiesta, behind the exaggerated face are active grille shutters for better aero and fuel economy. The sharp lines, flared-out fenders, speedy windshield, and sloping roofline are also oh so European, leading to a rear that's not quite as hacked off as some rivals. The sporty look carries over to the driver-focused interior. However, it has more of a refined and high-tech edge to it. Material quality makes a huge leap with soft touch surfaces and classy trim. Small car technology is at a new level in the Focus, including Ford's Sync system and My Ford Touch. We're still not fans of all the distracting icons and touch-sensitive switches, but no one beats Ford in connecting with the iPhone generation. Seats are very comfortable for a compact car with side bolsters that are surprisingly large. 6 airbags are standard. Gauges are also large with analog speedometer and tachometer bookending an LCD info screen. Rear seat legroom is compact tight, but even with the sloping roof, headroom is downright generous. Adults will find spaces acceptable for commuting. The split folding rear seat opens up the already large 23.8 cubic foot trunk to just about anything a small family needs to carry. Focus standard transmission is a 5-speed manual with the power shift automatic an option. Our car also added the select shift manual mode with a toggle switch on the shifter, but not on the steering wheel, which is already cluttered with a myriad of other controls. Under the hood is an all-new 2-liter direct injection 4-cylinder rated at 160 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. twin independent variable camshaft timing provides both better fuel economy and more power than the previous Duratec 2-liter. Enough power to propel our 5-door hatch to 60 miles per hour in 7.6 seconds. It feels fairly strong off the line, but not so strong that you'd forget you're only working with 160 horses. As the transmission makes its way through the gears, power seems to drop off a bit more on each shift, eventually reaching the end of the quarter mile in 16.3 seconds at 89 miles per hour. Shifts were very quick and surprisingly smooth, and performance is improved over our earlier exposure to the Power Shift Focus. Handling is just what you'd expect from a German-engineered car. Sharp steering with minimal body roll. Torque vectoring control reduces understeer by acting as an electronic limited slip differential, managing power between the front wheels. The fully independent suspension with struts up front and forged control blade multi-link in the rear provides a nice tight feel both on track and on the street. Other than a very soft pedal, we have no complaints about the ABS-equipped disc at all 4 wheels either. They brought our Focus to a stop from 60 in a good 126 feet. Base Focus models come equipped with drums in the rear. With an eye towards those stepping down from the mid-size segment in search of better fuel economy, the heavily equipped 2012 Focus Titanium model begins at $23,490. A base S sedan is far more reasonable at $16,995. While the sharper 2012 Ford Focus breaks little new ground, we're very impressed with its overall execution and feel it certainly strikes towards the head of the compact car class. However, in a segment traditionally dominated by Asian rivals, we'll have to wait and see if buyers think it's sharp enough. Our success story this week takes us to the crossroads of the West, Salt Lake City, where Utah's first refueling station that provides both liquefied and compressed natural gas is now open for business. The station can fill a wide variety of vehicles that run on either LNG or CNG. Both are clean burning, but natural gas is super cooled to minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit to create LNG. That allows much more fuel to be stored in a smaller tank. That's important for the big rigs that need to drive long distances. But this station can also supply CNG for use in smaller vehicles that are used locally.
We aren't limited by pressure. We can fuel up as many cars and light trucks as come to the station pretty much as fast as they can pull in 24 hours a day.
This and 2 additional stations will allow long-distance truckers to carry loads from northern Utah all the way to the Southern California coast, making the Beehive State a leader in alternative fuels for the long haul. BMW is well known for their smooth, powerful inline 6-cylinder engines. No other brand has embraced the inline 6 as much or taken it as far. Well, now BMW takes it to a place even they haven't been yet.
While already well known for building comfortable, long-distance touring machines, BMW has taken it to a whole new level with this bike, the K1600 GTL. Just looking at this bike makes me want to take off and not stop riding until I'm in the next time zone. Everything about it screams road trip, especially the fuel-injected 1649cc inline 6 engine, which puts out 160 horsepower. Its narrow 72mm cylinder bores with just 5mm between them help keep the width to under 22 inches, barely wider than a typical 4-cylinder. Overall weight of the bike is 776 pounds. While heavy, that's significantly less than a typical cruiser-based touring machine. But just because a motorcycle weighs 776 pounds doesn't mean it has to feel awkward. It's all about good design and balance. And even at slower speeds, the K1600 GTL is easily maneuvered. You don't feel disconnected from the front end at all, as on some previous K touring bikes. As speeds increase, the weight melts away, and the GTL feels like a much smaller bike. Electronically adjustable suspension lets you choose comfort, normal, or sport modes depending on your mood or road conditions. The hydraulic clutch is super light and gears click with precision. The windscreen can adjust to almost fully vertical, keeping wind, rain, and just about everything else off of both the rider and passenger, while a deep and wide seat offers all-day comfort for two. Increasing comfort and luxury usually comes at the expense of fun, but not so with this machine. After the first few corners, it's easy to forget that you're on a touring bike. Over 40 mpgs and a 7-gallon fuel tank gives you a 300-mile range between fill-ups, though that will require a bit of restraint, as I was only able to see about 280. Every aspect of this bike is incredibly smooth. If you're looking for a rough around the edges rumbly type of motorcycle experience, look elsewhere. Creature comforts abound, as well as high-tech features new to the two-wheeled world, like adaptive headlighting, which aims a xenon beam into the corner as you lean into a turn. Combine that with low-mounted LED lighting, and you can really light up the night. ABS and dynamic traction control are also part of the package, with settable driving modes for dynamic and rain riding, as well as normal or road. The gauge package includes a large analog speedometer and tachometer with a configurable multi-display. Controls have been simplified by a multi-controller on the left-hand grip. It's just like iDrive, only much more intuitive. The 33-liter side cases and a 49-liter top case offer plenty of storage space, and lock and unlock electronically with an automotive-style key fob. Additional small item storage is located on both sides of the fairing. Available now, the K1600 GTL starts at $23,200. A more aggressive K1600 GT is also available with a sportier riding position, less electronics, less storage, and for less money, starting at just over $20,000. While not the first inline-six motorcycle engine to hit the streets, it is the first since the 80s and the first for BMW, and we couldn't think of a better brand to bring it back. The fact that it's got such an awesome chassis wrapped around it just makes it that much better. And we'll take this 6 on the road anytime.
Automatic transmissions are a marvel. You just shift it into drive and go. But as Pat Goss is about to show us, you have to flush it to keep it so.
John, for most drivers, automatic transmissions make sense. But once you own one, you have to make a decision about maintaining it. And that means you have to decide whether or not you're going to flush your transmission or wait until later in the life of the vehicle and flush your wallet. Big time. I elect to flush my transmissions. See, back in the day, what you used to do was you would drop the transmission pan, you'd replace the transmission filter, put a new gasket in it, and replace, maybe a quarter or a third of the total fluid in the transmission. Didn't really do anything, and it didn't clean anything, and cleaning is really important. You see, here we have a torque converter. We know the term. It bolts to the back of the engine, and it uses hydraulic pressure to connect the engine to the automatic transmission. See, this portion of the torque converter spins at the same speed as your engine. So if your engine is turning 3,000 RPM, so's the torque converter, and it's filled with fluid, and the fluid is circulating as well. Now, what that means is that this acts like a centrifuge, and any dirt particles that are in the fluid get flung out until they collect around this outside area of the torque converter. Now, unless you flush, there's no way to ever clean that away. And if it isn't cleaned away, eventually it'll build up to a point where it begins to flake off. Those flakes can travel through the transmission, block fluid passages, cause slippage. Slippage causes heat. Heat kills transmissions. It's just that simple. Cleanliness is the key. See, we never want to have our fluid looking like this if we can avoid it. What we want our fluid to look like always is brand new. And that means we have to flush it. We should flush it every 24 to 30,000 miles. And make sure the shop that does it uses the appropriate fluid for your car. One size doesn't fit all, and there isn't a chemical that you can dump into a universal fluid that'll make it fit all cars. That's foolishness. Now here's a typical flush machine. It has hoses that connect into the cooling lines of the transmission. All the old fluid is drained out and quarantined inside the machine, and it's replenished with new fluid. But the big difference, this machine uses chemicals that clean the inside of the transmission. It softens all of this dirt. The dirt is trapped in the machine. Your transmission is clean. It can double, triple, quadruple the life of the transmission. In many cases, it'll make the transmission last the life of the car. And if you have a question or comment, drop me a line right here at MotorWeek.
The 2011 Hyundai Sonata is our driver's choice pick for Best Family Car of the Year. That means that we give our long-term Sonata even more scrutiny than normal. After 10 months and over 19,000 miles, we've had no major problems, but there is some premature wear. The driver's seat is fraying at a seam. We also think top limited trim should include a power passenger seat. Fuel economy is holding steady at 27.5 miles per gallon of regular, despite a lot of low-speed use. But amazingly, even with so many Sonatas already on the road, it still turns heads. It's that great looking, and hopefully will remain so for a lot more miles to come. The perfect summer take-along is our 2011 Honda Odyssey minivan. From now till fall, we expect lots of work and play. We'll put over 15,000 new miles on our redesigned 7-passenger people mover. Top drawer elite trim ensures a comfortable trip. So far, the only negative we've noticed about accommodations is a too narrow for size 12 feet driver's footwell. Seats, on the other hand, are all-day comfortable. You really notice how smoothly everything operates in the Odyssey, from folding down seats to transmission downshifts. Odyssey systems are well thought out and user-friendly. As the most efficient minivan in its class, its able 248 horsepower, 3.5-liter V6 is returning 22.4 miles per gallon of regular after 4 months and 8,000 miles. That's about 10% better than rivals. It's the Subaru Impreza WRX and our new Kia Sportage on the next MotorWeek long-term road test update.
Caught in the iSpy camera lens is a pair of upcoming models that will be crucial to sustaining Cadillac's current success. First, a plug-in extended-range electric version of the SRX crossover. GM engineers let it slip that the SRX will eventually share advanced electric drive mechanicals with the Chevrolet Volt. And these undisguised photos from Spy Master Brenda Pretty clearly show an extra fueling port welded onto this prototype, where a plug-in port would likely be found in production. Also visible are styling tweaks like a revised grille and a new interior with updated gauges and steering wheel, along with a new touchscreen panel. Next up, camo-clad shots of Caddy's upcoming 3 Series fighter, the ATS. Looking like a scaled-down CTS and set to use GM's new rear-drive Alpha chassis, it will likely debut as a sedan and eventually may include coupe and convertible models. Visible styling cues like the oversized wedge grille and a slightly V-shaped rear are clear indicators the ATS will carry on Cadillac's art and science design language, but the overall effect appears more subtle. Engine choices could range from a turbo 4 to a variety of V6s to even a small V8 in a future hot rod ATS V model. The ATS could finally be the world-beater sports sedan that Caddy fans have been waiting for.
Lexus built its excellent reputation by offering uncompromising luxury and reliability. but in recent years has bolstered its green image too by offering a variety of gasoline-electric hybrid models. And with this CT200H, Lexus is breaking with conventional hybrid wisdom to showcase what it calls the darker side of green, a standalone hybrid with both luxury and sporting intentions. But can one car do it all? The 2011 Lexus CT200H hatchback is the luxury brand's second compact hybrid car, joining the HS250H sedan that arrived last year. And the CT styling reflects its Euro intentions, with a rakish look that's part touring car racer and part 80s hair metal guitar. The front end wears a muscular Lexus nose that hugs the ground like a Slam Civic. A taut roofline, climbing belt line, and sweeping character lines highlight the profile, while the tail mixes sharp roof spoiler, insect eye taillights, and chunky fascia with racy cooling vents. Under this speedy exterior, the CT200H shares its basic MC chassis with the HS Prius Corolla, but also the Scion TC. In this shortened, beefed-up edition, the CT sports a concise 102.4-inch wheelbase and 170.1-inch length. Also like the TC, the CT rides on a front strut and rear double wishbone suspension, backed up by rebound springs and lateral damping to absorb body vibration and reduce chassis flex. 17-inch alloys are standard with stickier sport tires an option. The sleek, weight-saving aluminum hood hides a Prius hybrid Synergy drive powertrain. The 98 horsepower, 1.8-liter Atkinson cycle i4 gas engine and 60 kilowatt electric motor have a combined output of 134 horsepower. The more powerful 2.4-liter system in the HS is too big for a compact in Europe. Being a full hybrid, the CT delivers great government fuel economy ratings of 43 city and 40 highway. Our test was spot on at 40.3 using regular gas. Likewise, the CT has a compact carbon footprint of 4.5, an energy impact score of 8.2 barrels of oil per year. Drivers can select normal, EV, eco, and sport modes, with the latter adding more responsive throttle and steering and less intrusion from stability and traction controls. Sport also transforms the gauge cluster's hybrid power indicator into a tachometer, and instrument lighting switches from blue to red. With our test drivers seeing red, the CT still took a leisurely 10.2 seconds from 0 to 60, with a quarter mile passing in 17.6 seconds at 78 miles per hour. Acceptable for a Prius, but hardly up to the CT's racy image. The CVT transmission works fine, though at full throttle, drivetrain noise is loud for a Lexus. While the CT is no sports car in a straight line, it does offer some pleasant surprises when you hit the curves. The feel is definitely more Scion TC, with a tight character, minimum front push, and only modest body roll. The electric power steering is quick and precise, though it could use more feedback. In daily driving, the CT is also more entertaining on both twisty roads and in fast-moving traffic than other 5-seat hybrids. Yes, it is a lot more fun to drive than a Prius. But what about the luxury side of the CT? Well, you do pay for above-average hybrid handling with a stiffer ride that gets uncomfortable over broken pavement. Granted, the CT200H is luxury car equipped. Standards include dual-zone automatic climate, CD audio with Bluetooth, satellite radio, USB and media ports, and auxiliary steering wheel controls. Our premium trimmed car included navigation with both voice command and the Lexus remote touch controller. But the CT seating gave us pause. The narrow front buckets didn't provide us with anything close to luxury car comfort, even with 10-way power adjustments, including lumbar. The new Luxe eco-friendly imitation leather looked inexpensive and made us wish for the real cowhide option. The front passenger seat is worse, with only manual controls and minimal lower back support. Rear seat room is tight too if you're over 5'10". And again, surfaces are hard. The seat back is split and does fold for convenience. Even with seats up, cargo space is a healthy 14.3 cubic feet.
The Lexus CT200H is economical and fairly sporty to drive. Where it comes up short is on luxury. The front seats are hard and there's minimal lower back support for the front passenger. That's surprising because long-distance comfort is what a luxury car is all about.
Pricing for the Lexus CT200H starts at $29,995 and rises to $31,775 for the premium grade. But watch those options or you'll quickly find yourself north of 40 grand. The 2011 Lexus CT200H is not the true Euro-bred sport luxury hybrid that we were hoping for, but it is a step in the right direction. With Lexus moving to introduce even more hybrids, we expect their next darker shade of green to be of a much richer hue. And I hope you'll join us again for more MotorWeek. And the latest edition of one of our favorite sports sedans, the Acura TL. Then we drop the top and floor the pedal on the Chevrolet Camaro convertible. Until next time, I'm John Davis. We'll see you right here on MotorWeek.
To learn more about MotorWeek, television's original automotive magazine, visit pbs.org. To order a DVD of this program, call 1-800-873-6154. MotorWeek, brought to you by
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers. No matter what customers drive, they can purchase online from a comprehensive selection of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
This program was produced by Maryland Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content.